Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time coming by the channel. I really appreciate that you are here. Today we are going to be doing a show and tell from my collection series. Today we're going to be looking at all of my empowering decks. I'll explain more about that in just a moment and we'll be getting right into it. But first, a couple of housekeeping things. If you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Lisa. I am a content creator here on YouTube. Obviously, I enjoy making content about tarot and oracle decks and divination and all of the things related to all the things adjacent. However, but I am also a tarot deck creator and an author. I will throw a graphic up on the screen so you can see where you can find my work that is already out and about in the world. But also, I am about to launch, at the time I'm filming this, my Oracle deck, Unicorn's Journey Oracle, which is the companion to my first ever tarot deck, the Unicorn's Journey Tarot, but also is a standalone Oracle deck meant to just be a wonderful guide. It's very balanced. It has light and shadow themes, neutral themes, 70 cards, nice chunky deck. It's going to be amazing. I'm so proud of it. And it's hitting Kickstarter this month, so stay tuned. Now, with that said, let's get into it. So I have somewhere in the vicinity of 20-ish decks to talk about today, give or take a couple. And what we're going to be doing is talking about all of my empowering tarot decks and my empowering oracle decks. Now, these are going to be decks that have a uplifting sort of self-worth, confidence kind of theme, the sort of thing that you go to for like either a kick in the butt in the the self-worth department, something that's going to help you tap into your inner power, your sass, that sort of thing. So before I jump into those though, I do have one deck that was actually supposed to be listed with my compelling decks. So it's technically not one I would normally put in this category. I would call this a compelling deck, but I forgot it in my last video. If you're curious, by the way, you can see all the videos in my deck collection series from this year as well as prior years in the playlist called my Tarot Deck Collection Evolution, which I will have linked down below, I think, for you. If not, you can find it on my channel homepage. But anyways, the Tarot of Mystical Moments is a compelling deck. So let's cover that first and then we can get into all the empowering ones. This is one of my top favorite decks. It actually hangs on a rack right in front of my table right there where I keep some of my other like top picks. And this is a collage, I guess, digital collage deck by Katrin Wellstein. There's something about this that just lets my intuition just bounce around like crazy. It's amazing. I love reading with this deck. The visuals are really striking and it feels very dreamlike, but also has just these marvelous, like, brilliant little nods to the meaning that hide out in different symbols and images that show up. There's a sort of surreal quality to it, but there is also this just, like I said, this kind of dreamy quality. But the thing is, a lot of times when decks have this kind of art or this kind of dreamy art, they feel nonsensical to me. This one is not like that. It doesn't feel nonsensical. It feels like it all just makes sense. And I find that I get very, very potent readings when I work with this deck. I never get stuck. It's just an absolute no-fail reader for me, and I really, really enjoy it. So this one definitely belongs in my compelling deck category as really like a favorite that just, oh, it's so yummy to read with. I just adore it. But that is the Tarot of Mystical Moments. Okay, moving right along, I'm going to try my best to sort of volley back and forth between Tarot and Oracle. We'll see if that does me any good, but we're going to start out with one that I'm pretty sure is going to go on the chopping block. Oh, by the way, this is also sort of like a declutter, I guess, because as I go through these decks, I'm also looking for things that maybe don't work for me anymore, things that I might be interested in rehoming. But what I'm going to do, this is, like I said, this is probably going to be one of them. We'll see. But what I'm hoping to do is put all of these decks that go on the chopping block into their own kind of basket. So I'm setting them aside and we will revisit them at the end of this series and I'll see how I feel about them then. But I'm kind of trying to decide by category when I have things that I feel like aren't going to be for me long term. This is a deck that I backed on Kickstarter that I was actually really excited about when I first backed it, but the campaign just, it wasn't the best experience ever, and I wasn't real happy with how the deck itself turned out from a production quality standpoint. It's not bad quality, it's just there's some design things that didn't work for me. So I have not even ever worked with this yet. But this is the Ego Observer Tarot. It does have a box that I think I've put into storage. I'm going to have to check. One of the design things actually that I really struggle with this deck is the book actually, because it's white text on black, which is fine, but there's also colored text for like titles. And in some sections, like for example here, Hopefully it's much better on camera actually. But to my eye, I cannot read that. I don't know what that says. Self something. Oh, well, I can see over here, self-sacrifice. So by context, I can see now in camera, the contrast is much better because I think my camera's adjusting for that. But like, I can't read this text at all. I couldn't tell you what that says, or if there even is. I think there is text, blue text there. But so just really bad color choice here on black. Some of them are easier. Like this is a like tan color and it's a little easier to read. But in fairness, I have not, and like this is actually kind of annoying. Like it's already coming apart here. And I haven't used this like at all. That could just be due to the size of the book. I'm not quite sure, but that binding is not great. You can kind of see how that's not a great binding. But I don't know that, I mean, that's not something I don't think the creator would have known about when they put this together. But regardless, I think what caught my attention about this is it felt like it was going to have a very psychological sort of aspect. But that issue with the titles and contrast actually is also an issue on the cards themselves. So like, for example, here's the red text. So this says believe for card 7 here, but underneath that says 7 of Wands in red. That's not so bad. Like it's kind of okay, but the blue is pretty hard to see. On one hand, that's kind of nice because, well, see, let me think about this. Like in the lighting, this isn't quite so bad as when, and maybe it's because I've had some time away from this deck because I literally just put it to the side and I was like, I'm not. Like this is kind of neat. We have balance and we've got the heart and the mind. Turn on for the aces of wands. I don't know why it's aces. Is that a typo? I'm just super curious if all of them are like that. Hold on. That's like little things like that just kind of bug me. But that just might be like a 6. I need another ace, people. Let's just flip through while I kind of think about this. Fear, attraction for the 9 of cups, the feminine for the empress, curiosity. I am wondering if I need to, now that I've had enough time away from this, I love this overthinking for the 4 of cups is really interesting. I'm not sure if this is going to jive as tarot for me. I don't know if it goes too many, like this is fine. Oh, see, like here we have a 5 of singular cup and there's an ace of cups, but then there was aces of, there's just some like editing things that I think just, it's a challenge for me. It's a challenge. Just like little things. And I get it. Like as a creator, I have looked at my stuff so many times and I always find something that I miss. I always find some little thing. Ideally, it's nothing that ever matters to anybody but me, but like there's always something. So I have so much like empathy for the creator because it's easier than you think it would be to miss things like that. But there are some things like that that have been missed. And I think I have a harder time being mentally patient about it because I feel like I said, the Kickstarter campaign was not a great experience and there was like just issues with that. But I hate to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and I do wonder if I should give this a chance. But I think that ultimately, I do think that ultimately this is on the chopping block. But when I think about how excited I was about these ideas initially, and the way they're depicted and the psycho-spiritual kind of like vibe of it. Like the Page of Coins inspiration. Some of these associations don't. Page of Wands explore makes sense. I don't know. You know what? I feel like I would be self-sacrifice. Ugh, that's visceral. There's some really cool concepts in here. But I just wonder if I just wonder if I'm forcing it a little bit. Validation is a word that I think makes a lot of sense for the 6 of Wands. Move on. I don't know. I just don't know. And I feel like I shuffled this and played with this a little bit. I must have, because it's all out of order. Suppression for the 9 of Swords. I just don't know. Part of me is like, do I pull this into member readings and just try it? But I just think I'd be forcing it at this point because I think I just think there's something about it that feels not resonant to me now that I have it in hand. Maybe it's too on the nose. It reminds me a little bit of, I think it's called the Psychic Tarot, if you've ever seen that deck. It kind of gives me those vibes a little bit. On one hand, the keywords really excite me because I think they're super. 7 of Wands for believe. I'm just curious what the 7 of Wands says. I'm just going to check because I have to know. Are these even in an order that, okay, let's see. Okay. In order to manifest a vision, it's essential that you believe in it fiercely. It's impervious. Be impervious to the opinions of others as you bring this vision to life. Now that makes sense for the 7 of Cups. Now I'm curious what he says for the 7 of Cups. Dream. Possibilities are limited. 7 of Wands to me is not about vision, believing, you know? Four of Wands embodiment. I don't know, man. I think I'm just trying too hard with this one. I think I'm going to put this on the chopping block. I'm going to have to just sit with it for a bit because I'm not in the space where I feel like I can be thoughtful about it, but it's, I mean, beautiful gilding. There's an issue with the contrast and the color. I'm not sure how I feel about some of the choices. I love the idea of this, and I just wonder if my time with this deck just didn't come, but this is going to go on the chopping block. Ego observer. Okay. I'm trying not going to spend. Wow. I can do sentences. I can speak. I can English. I'm going to try not to spend so much time on every single deck, but let's talk about an Oracle deck. I think this one might also be on the chopping block, but mostly just for practicality reasons. It's absolutely beautiful. This is Rise Again by Vanessa Vorbach. This is a local creator to me, actually. And this is so beautiful. I'm not using it. And so whenever that happens, I'm like, I've got to find a home for it because I'm not using it and it's gorgeous. I think this would be so great if I was doing things like where I would put out like altar cards, like look at how beautiful these are. These are so great. The themes of these are so beautiful. The art itself is beautiful. It's got all this foiling. It's gorgeous. The themes are very like self-worth, affirmation-based themes. It's so pretty. Trust, stand up. These are beautiful. Like I said, these would be beautiful altar cards or like shine, cry, laugh, try. Like the design of these is just, can you see it's hard to get it to show up on camera just how beautiful these are. But in person, the gold just, oh, it's so pretty. It's like senses based, but it's very self-worth. These are kind of like rose petally, but there's not a ton of cards. I think there's, you know, you can tell it's quite a slim little, like it's like a little deck. But the book, first of all, there's also a bracelet, which is kind of fun. One of those silicone ones. It says Rise Again. And the book in here is so beautiful. If y'all remember the absolute nightmare when I first got this, I was really too rough with the spine and my pages fell out and it was a whole nightmare. Anyways, the creator reached out to me and sent another one, which was very, very sweet. But I've been a little hesitant because the binding is still, it's so tight and I'm like kind of scared to open it. But the writing in here is absolutely beautiful. I did learn, by the way, a way to train a spine. I'm not going to do it with this. Let me show you with a book that like a book of my own that I don't mind like messing up. If you ever have one, I don't know if it'll work on this, but I'll show you. If you ever want to break in a book without, you know how you can get that like cracked spine if you just like reef it open. If you want to really get a book to open up and you don't want to do that, this is the trick. You hold it this way, you take down the back and the front and you just kind of press it down, and then you go a couple pages in, or if you really want to be thorough, you do this while you're watching TV, do just like one page at a time, front and back, and you just go like this, and it will train the spine gently. And when you're all done doing this kind of thing, then when you go to a page, it will pretty much like, it'll lay flatter. It's the coolest thing. But I don't want to do this to this, especially if I'm going to be rehoming it, because I want to keep it really nice. Let somebody else do that process. But the messages in here are really beautiful. It's a beautifully designed book, really thick, glossy pages, really, really lovely, nice boxed set. But I'm not using it. I was sucked in by just the sheer beauty and my desire to support a local creator, and it is so beautiful. But it's just not the kind of thing that I tend to reach for. It's just, it activated like the dopamine receptors in my brain, and I was like, I need it because it's pretty. But I don't have a space, like I don't do that sort of thing. If I still had a yoga studio, this would be the perfect thing to like let everybody choose a card and like put it on their mat as they do their practice or something. That would be so perfect for that. But yeah, this is going on the chopping block as well. Let's just put our little chopping block pile up front here. Okay, let's grab another tarot. So this is such a fun one. This is called the Wild Seeker Tarot. I never see anybody talking about this, but this is such a fabulous self-worth deck. This is by Brina Shields. I believe this is still in print. I will have links to everything obviously down below. If it's out of print, it will just say out of print. Sorry, but feel free to Google in case I'm wrong. Like always, feel free to do your own looking on that just in case, because I could get things wrong for sure. This is such a fun deck. It is a tarot, and it is so wonderful from a sass and self-worth perspective. The little messages in this little guidebook are 100% on point. Like here's the Queen of Wands. Let's just go to her so you get the vibe. So Queen of Wands says, you have come to know yourself You've come to know yourself intimately, your light and shadows, and you've learned how to harness both to achieve your dreams. If there are parts of your shadow side you are still avoiding, now is the time to work with it. You are radiant and bold and strong. There is nothing stopping you from wielding your true power and sharing your magic with those around you. Reversed, it is time to go inward and reconnect with your inner truth. There may be external distractions keeping you from engaging with your power. Nourish your spirit so you can hear your own thoughts and clarify the next steps. How might you be avoiding your shadow side? Or like for the Eight of Wands, and it's like one of these little staple bound books. It's not like fancy, but it's so potent. Eight of Wands says, big challenges have strengthened your resolve and deepened your sense of self. It is time to move full speed ahead and follow your spark of inspiration. Be sure to ask for the support you need to keep up this momentum. Your dreams are worth the investment and focus that is being required of you. Or reverse, there is a loss of momentum that is stalling your path. The obstacles in your way feel insurmountable. The path looks different than you anticipated. Slow down and trust that your vision is still on the horizon. How will you stay connected to what inspires you? And it's like that, like the whole way through. Plus, it is absolutely so beautiful. The artwork is fun and vibrant. There's lots of pinks and oranges, and it's a really, really great deck. It's one of the first ones I think of when I think of like decks that are that are kind of empowering and self-worth vibes. Other than my own, because it's always the first one I go to. But this was one of the first ones. In fact, when we were doing SelfWorth Saturday draws in my membership for a while, this was the deck that I typically would reach for, because it is so just colorful and bright and fun, but the messages really help you kind of get into that place. There's some great body diversity that you see through this deck as well. It kind of reminds me of a vibrant, colorful, like Many Queens kind of tarot, sort of, but it just makes more sense to me. Lots of different, like I said, bodies and shapes and colors. It is fabulous. So that is the Wild Seeker Tarot. It's super fun. Highly recommend if you can still get your hands on it, which I hope so. I haven't checked before I filmed. I'll be checking for links after I film, as per usual, but love that deck. For another oracle, let's take a look at the Rainbow Brain Skull. This is a mass market Andrews McMeel, and this is really fun, the themes on here, but I have not reached for it once since I got it. I don't know what my deal is. For starters, I don't know. I feel like this is really unique. I wonder if I don't know what my issue is. I think I need a pair for this. I need to find something that is like the perfect pair for this deck. But the messages on it are really fun. And what's neat is that the messages on this, I'll show you some examples, are different than the messages in the guidebook. So it doesn't like double up on itself, if that makes sense. So like, for example, this one says, the infinite ocean of ideas we're all allowed to swim in. Like, and then this one is, you're not supposed to always be happy. Let happy sleep. Just throw time at it until it's a thing. Accept how you feel, then move through it. It's okay. You're not supposed to be doing anything right now. This is so great. I don't know why I haven't been using this. Let every cat out of every bag. Create right now, not just during soft, good times. Oh, I love that. I'm not a fractured being. I'm multifaceted. I am brand new. This is teenager me, childhood me, baby me, source, and then it's I am brand new on the surface. I love that. Would you be nervous performing for a galaxy you'd never see again? The thinking mind acts like it's everything, but it's not. It's down here where the gut is. Love that. There's so much good stuff. And like, here's one. There's no words at all on the card, right? And so I'm like, what am I looking at? So I'm going to go to card 15 in here. It's kind of hard to see. Here we go. Take a break from cheering and jeering at the circus. Haven't you noticed that it's always been this way? No one is forcing you to participate. You can always step outside and do something else. So the circus is over here and they're just out here like playing with rocks or whatever. Death is just one character I play. My real name is Change. I mean, this is really freaking good. What is my problem? I need to think of like either a practice to pull this into or a pairing for it. So if you're watching this right now, even among the decks I have, I think I actually have an idea, but let's just set this aside for now. I thought I might chopping block this actually, but now that I'm like looking at it, I'm like, this is so clever and fun, and it's mass market, and I got it because it was so unique. So this is safe. I'm going to set it here so that I try to think as I go through these other decks, if there's something that jumps out as like a really good like pair. The Extraordinary Incantations. This should theoretically be in my mini collection, but I feel like it's just too perfect for this section to leave it out. So this is a affirmation based tarot But it also has these, the messages on it are just really great, but they also make sense for the tarot. So we have like, I get over myself, I get over it. That's the Three of Swords. I make it my business to get the job done, the Emperor. I get by with a little help from my friends, the Three of Pentacles. I know when to call myself out, the Devil. I have a good laugh, Queen of Wands. I play to win, Six of Wands. I don't shame myself for my regrets, Five of Swords. I indulge in my fantasies, Seven of Cups. I mean, it's so good. I can admit that I still have a lot to learn, Hierophant. I can pick up my pace at any time. I mean, it's really good. It's like affirmations for every single IDGAF. For Four of Cups is perfect. I make my own way, the Chariot. I enjoy my own company, the Hermit. I mean, it's so great. I keep my heart open, Page of Cups. I don't love that there's words on the back. I kind of hate that. Actually, I wish there was something like just a designed back and not titles. I hate that. And I kind of wish these characters were, I don't know, that the art was more something or other. I don't know. But the affirmations are so good. They're so good. This is such a delightful deck. I love the little things. Ten of Cups. I am bold enough to leap. Three of Wands. I don't make things harder than they have to be. Six of Swords. This is really good. What the heck? This is another one that I feel like I might need to create like a little basket or something for decks that I need to like find some way to incorporate into practice. Part of it is I think I don't know how to use this. It doesn't feel like a tarot. It feels like an oracle. It's an affirmation deck, right? Except it makes so much sense with the tarot. Okay, hold on. I just need to like, what would it look like in an energy obstacle advice? I'm just going to pull a 3 card and just see. It's also like a little deck. It's like bridge size, I think. It's like kind of like a little deck of playing cards almost. Like a bridge, not poker. It's like taller and thinner than a poker deck. Okay, let's just do energy obstacle advice. Okay, energy. I can admit when something has run its course. That's hilarious. Death. Obstacle. I mean, I can pretend I'm fine just till the struggle is over. Hanged Man. So we have the, okay, fine, not fine energy of the obstacle. That makes sense. And then the advice is I bend and don't break. Strength. Okay, that actually reads pretty well. I just wonder if I need to like, you know what? Maybe this needs to be a bedtime deck. Maybe that's what it is. I'm going to try moving it into my bedtime decks and see. Because my bedtime decks are decks that like I can just do a quick reading with and I don't need to think too hard about it because they have usually some sort of meanings written on the card. It didn't really occur to me to use this that way, but I think I'm going to put it in my bedtime decks basket and see how that feels. I don't think I need to chopping block this, but I think I need to think of it as a deck for myself when I just need a quick little card pull. And I think this would go really well, actually, with Kimberly Sands' Align Heart affirmation deck as well. Ooh, that could be fun. So, and that's a perma bedtime deck for the most part, too. So I'm going to put this over my bedtime decks. That might solve my problem. Okay, let's talk about another oracle. It's super safe in my collection, the Quiet Rebel. This is fabulous. Talking about empowering decks. The guidebook is upside down. That's hilarious. This is so freaking good. And I cannot wait to get the Quiet Rebel Tarot in my hands because I backed that on Kickstarter. This is amazing. I haven't used it as much as I could have because I'm waiting for the tarot, and the tarot is going to be the perfect pair for this deck, but it's so freaking good. The Underdog, Underestimation, Sneaky Tricks, Cunning, Find Your Truth, Inner Guidance, Rebel Without Applause, Kindness. It's so good. This is so fabulous. The Energy, like Middle Finger of Love, Burn It Down. Like the glee on her face as she holds this big matchstick. Like it's everything. There's so much fun and sass in this deck. It is incredible. I cannot wait. This is by Lynn Thurman, by the way. I believe I backed this deck on Kickstarter, and now the tarot is the one I'm waiting for. It's going to be great. I can't wait. Cannot wait. So good. So excited about this. This does pair really nicely with other things, but I really just need it with the Quiet Rebel Tarot. So this is just waiting for that. Let's look at another tarot. This is Penelopes Tarot. Now this is the out of print indie edition. I went back and forth. I had the mass market edition, which is smaller, put out by Hay House, I think, and it's called Valuria's Tarot. But this was the original name and creator Sam West. I went back to the full size because I just prefer the full size. But really pretty turquoisey edges. You can't get, I don't think, the indie version anymore. At one point, the creator did have a few copies of this up for sale for like $5 or something on her website. It was insane. So you could still snag it. I'm sure there's a gone by now, but never hurts to check. Otherwise, look for Valuria's Tarot on like in mass market. This is a pip deck, but it's got a lot of like sass. It's like a sassy pip deck. I love the color palette, even though it's somewhat restrained. It's like a color palette I personally enjoy. It's one of my favorite pip decks. It's not that pippy, like this is the Nine of Crystals, but it's like, again, it's like kind of like pips with purpose. It's a little bit more stripped back. It's a little bit simpler in its art style, but it is like, it's fierce. You can kind of you can see and feel the ferocity in this deck. And so it feels a little bit like it's got badass energy, though it's pippy. So decks in this category, this empowering category, definitely ones when you're like feeling like you need to tap into your inner power. So anything in this whole section should kind of feel a little bit like that. And this has that vibe for me. But as you can see, it's not, I mean, calling it a pip deck isn't entirely fair because like sometimes it is, but it's also kind of not, which I guess I've discovered is sort of my pip preference. There's a couple pip decks I have that are more pippish. How many times can I say pip in a sentence, Lisa? So many, apparently. But anyway, there's always something happening, even when it's fairly stripped back. Like, other than the aces, I guess, they're pretty plain. But the rest of them are pretty, like, there's stuff happening. It's so cute. I love it. It works really well in the smaller size too. The mass market is a smaller size. I think it makes so much sense. I just happen to have bonded with this full size, so I let my pocket size go. But this is definitely safe in my collection. I mean, and look at the bag match. It's perfection. So good. That is Penelopes Tarot. And then another oracle. Let's take a look at the Magical Spirit Oracle, the Brilliance of You. This is another one where I need to find a perfect pair for it. I think I have one, actually. I think this would be perfect with Daphne's deck. Oh, what's it called? The Flower Child Tarot. If you know, you know. The colors are different, but it has that 70s vibe. I feel like I found a pair for this and already forgot what it was. If you can remember, let me know. I feel like I even had to separate it from its pair to bring it over here. No, maybe not. No, maybe not. Maybe I don't have a pair for this yet. If it had a pair, because the problem is I don't reach for oracles a lot as standalone. I need pairs for my oracle decks. But anyways, this is brilliant. It's gold gilded. This is rock pool. But it has these great messages in the center and then also keywords and a title. So like here it says, you are worthy of beautiful things. It's the Servant Queen and it says divine, magnetic, valuable. Here it says, what if your strangeness is actually your brilliance? Love that. That's the Moon. It's okay to forget and then remember all over again. I need something to pair this with, y'all. If you think of anything, I'm going to have to put this out with Rainbow Brain Skull and just see if anything jumps out at me as like a perfect pair. Because I think I need to work with this with something else. So good. This is so great. I love this. I need to think of something like that I can put it with. That seems to be my sticking point. Oh, I don't know what to do. Okay, well, there's a reason you have those dreams. Sometimes you will break before you bloom. Out of curiosity. No, I don't know. I don't know. I do enjoy this though. And the guidebook's really great too, but the messages on the cards are really good and very like easily applicable. I really need to think of a buddy for this deck. I guess I'll put it over here with Rainbow Brain Skull, just like looking for a friend. Desperately seeking tarot deck pair. Okay. We're going to do some oracles because I feel like I guess we're still pretty evenly balanced. This is also a very empowering deck, the Sacred Creators Oracle by Chris Ann. This is a mass market. This has come in handy so many times and it pairs well with like a bunch of different things. So that's really great. Love that about it. This has a lot of layers, even though it looks pretty simple. Somebody had to point them out to me, but there is a lot of tarot alignment with these. If you line them up numerologically with tarot, you can find some really cool layers that are there intentionally, which is really cool. The Distraction of Shiny Things, and that's card 15, so it's aligned with the Devil. Raw Intention, which I'm pretty sure is aligned with the Ace of Wands. Success and Transformation, 13, that'd be aligned with Death, etc., etc. It's affirmation. It's kind of like themes. But it's one of those decks that just works really well when you put it next to other things. The Spark of Hustle. It is actually really handy too if you are working on creating or you're trying to tap into creative energy. It is really great for helping you kind of shake up that creative energy a bit. And I don't have anything else quite like that. In fact, I hesitated to get this for a long time. You guys are going to laugh. I hesitated to get this for a long time, even though I really was attracted to it, because I was like, well, I'm not a creator. Yeah, I have struggles with seeing myself in that way. And I've talked about it before, and I get it. Like, I feel like now it's easier. Like, obviously I'm a creator, I'm a deck creator, I'm an author. I have to keep saying it out loud so that I'll believe it too. But like, it's like, it doesn't feel like, I don't know, it doesn't feel entirely grounded in me somehow. Anyway, so I didn't really feel like this deck was like meant for me, but it totally is. And when I've been stuck on projects, actually, I have pulled this out because between the messages on the cards and the way the guidebook addresses concepts around like imposter syndrome and creativity and like getting out of your own way is actually really, really helpful if you're in a creative block or you're feeling a little bit stuck. And it's a mass market and it's great. Plus visually, it does work really well with so many things. There's 67 cards and it matches so many things, but also it, even though you think it's so like kind of, I guess, creation focused or creativity focused, the messages seem to like apply in so many different scenarios. So it ends up being something that I can just grab and work with really, really easily. So love this. It's not in danger. It's fine. Okay. Let's talk about another tarot. So this one, I'm wondering if I should pair this one with the Rainbow Brain Skull, maybe, or the, oh my gosh, why do I keep forgetting the name of this? The Magical, what is this called? Magical Spirit? I don't know. This one might pair with those, but I love this. This is the Rainbow Heart Tarot. This is the first edition. There are newer editions, but the cardstock changed, and I like this first edition. I have had a mini of this. We'll see when I get to my mini collection, I guess, but I can't remember if I kept the mini of this, but it doesn't shuffle as nice. But it is still delightful, so I don't know. I don't know if I made a decision on that, but I love this first edition. It's got this kind of like that classic tarot card stock, like the kind that US Games decks used to be. It kind of feels like that, like not glossy, playing card style stock, but not linen, like, you know, the kind that like all the decks used to be back in the day. That's what it feels like. So it shuffles really nice, but the new versions of this deck are on a thicker cardstock that is harder for my hands. But I love the bold text, I love the bright colors, and I love the vibe of this deck. It feels a little bit hippie, but in the best way. And just, I love when I pick up the texture from, when I can see the texture from the canvas these were painted on, or the paper that these were painted on. I love when that comes through a little bit. I just think this is great. I love it. It's a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe. Love this Nine of Cups. It's a great deck. So let's see. Let's just play, because I'm curious. I don't know that this is going to look right next to Magical Spirit, but I feel like the font is similarly 70s-ish. So maybe despite the colors, it will, but I don't think art style it will. I don't know. What do we think? Let's see. Here's Magical Spirit. Like, I mean, like it's fine, but it doesn't really, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm going to have to grab Daphne's deck and see if Daphne's deck will go with that. But in the meantime, let's see if the Rainbow Brain Skull might be good for this. I don't know why, because they're both rainbow. Let's just see. Okay, take a break from small hell you've designed for yourself. Between the 10 of Wands and the 5 of Cups. Okay, wait. There is more where that came from. And we have Queen of Wands and Wheel of Fortune. Okay, wait. Is this actually like super working? Hold on. Not all who wander are lost, but yes. Yes, I am. 3 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. Oh my God. Is this like the best? I used to live in fear, so I know the area well. Yep, hasn't changed much. And we have the Magician and the 2 of Cups. Oh my God, is this so fun? Every timeline exists. Oh my God. Choose one to move toward. You're not supposed to always be happy. Let happy sleep. And we have 9 of Cups, Temperance. Okay. We saw those already. Let's go to a different one. Still not failing enough. The Hanged Man and 7 of Cups. Okay. Wait, this actually kind of is fun. If no you out there, get out there. With the Hermit and the 10 of... Okay. All right. Okay, I hear you. I'm just gonna... Here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to see... I don't know if I can do this. We're gonna see. But here's my Rainbow Heart Tarot. And here's my Rainbow Brain Skull. Can I just... Will it fit? If it fits, it sits. I think that's probably a little bit asking too much. But if I take it out of the box, like, it'll work. I might just... Yeah, that's happening. Those are a pair now. I'll just put the box away. Like, it's fine. I'll store that. These are now a perma pair. I love it. That was fruitful. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to go grab... Okay, it's out of order, y'all. And I know it's a collection, but I have to go grab Daphne's deck and just see if it works with this. Because, like, it's the Flower Child Tarot. And like, these have to work, right? Yeah, these are perfect. Look at the fonts. Look at the fonts. Okay. Yep. I don't even care. Visually, they work great. So this is going to be paired with Daphne's deck, which is the Flower Child Tarot, which is so fun. It's like a Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's just like been like hippified, kind of. It's great. I love it. It's very Daphne. Again, if you know, you know. Daphne's a character, video game character that Dawn Michelle plays, and I play a character with it. Oh, that doesn't go in there. See, look at that. I'm already blending the two. Okay, so this has a pair now, even though this isn't an empowering deck. I don't know where I put this. What category? We'll see. We'll find out when we get there, I guess. But regardless, these are now a pair. So I'm just going to set these aside together. Okay, carrying on. So this is the Outgrow Yourself. This is a tarot and oracle. It's really unique. But the thing is, as cool as this is, I don't reach for this. It's very cool though. So this is a Thoth-based tarot deck that also has oracle phrases on it. And it's very empowering. So this says, choose joy, pleasure. How do I start valuing myself? Blossom. Hide your secret under the tree. There's so many there's a lot of nudity in this one. So I'm just going to I know it's artistic. And for reference, if I show any cards that have bodies on them, this is just art. That is the context. This is not gratuitous stuff going on here. But anyways, trust and rest. So it's it's very, very edgy and cool. And when I was doing my Thoth study, this was really exciting to me. There's a lot of bodies. Hold on. I'm trying to get some tamer cards. I think I'm going to put this on the chopping block. It's very, 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 very cool. But I'm not as attracted to the color theming of this deck. And mine just has kind of a funky texture. I don't think current copies do, but it's just a slight unevenness to the cut. Ever so slight, but it does affect the shuffle. Because when I go to shuffle it, it clumps because of that unevenness. Actually, it's gotten a lot better. It used to be way worse. Or I've gotten better at shuffling, which is, always a possibility. But it's got a very edgy, again, kind of a many queens. I don't have that deck. I don't know why I always reference it, but it's got kind of that vibe to it. Very, very bodies and such. But I think that kind of competes with my Wild Seeker. So this is going to go into my chopping block pile. But it's very cool and it is very empowering. Let's talk about another tarot that I would put into empowering. It's my deck. I designed it to be empowering. So this is the vibe. It's a self-worth themed tarot deck. The entire concept of it, the story, every card has a self-worth message. Yes, this is my ultimate empowering deck. Is this my copy? Oh yeah, this is my copy that I keep in order. I was like, what's happening? So this one's still in its original order. I keep one so that I have a reference copy, and that one lives back here, and then my working copy lives out in the living room. So I can just pull it out anytime. And then I have a purse copy that's not in order. This one's not in order either, I don't think. Is it? I can't remember. No, this one's not in order. I keep one of these minis in my bag at all times. So I use my mini actually probably the most because it's always on my person pretty much. But the full size has the guidebook and such. But anyway, obviously I don't need to stand here and show this deck over and over again. There's tons of content on my channel about this, but the main crux of it is that there is all of the self-worth themes, and I can also now show briefly, I have just a test print. This is not a final version, but the Unicorn's Journey Oracle also falls into this category. Oh my God, look it. So this is a bare bones copy because it's assuming if we don't meet any stretch goals, and it's just a test print, so it's not identical. But it's pretty close. Yeah, it's got a different corner rounding. It's got a very slightly different format. This was test printed from a different place, not from my actual printer. But anyways, so this is just a sample. But if we meet our stretch goals, this will have a gold foil sun here, which will be just amazing. But similar vibes, right? We're looking up from Mystic's Magical Grove into Magical Lilac Grove into the sky. Here we see a star. Here we'll see the sun. Anyways, this one's in order, but this has also got self-worth themes all the way throughout. It's a test print, so the colors aren't as deep as they will be on the final version, but 5 suits, 70 cards. Oh, amazing. So very excited about this, but this obviously, because it also has self-worth themes, will be in my empowering deck section. But again, that's just a little sneaky peek, because that's just a test print. But anyways, Unicorn's Journey is my ultimate empowering deck, and it's definitely the one that I designed to kind of cover all the themes. Same with the Oracle, to cover the themes that are important to me on a self-worth path, on a self-worth journey, and that is something I'm pretty passionate about, so that's a thing. But anyways, that is Unicorn's Journey Tarot, definitely empowering. Let's go over to an Oracle deck. We have the Iris Oracle. Oh man, this is one that I keep forgetting about, but it is actually really, really good. I think this is another one that I need to pair up. Sometimes I think these Oracle decks just don't get used because I don't pair them, but this one is really good. This is like angsty inner child vibes. And so it's empowering in the way that I think it helps you name and address things that are really difficult and sometimes kind of dark. And also not always dark. Like here we have Good Things and Cornucopia. But then we have Can't Be Caught. Your dreams are closer than you think. Ungrateful daughter and earthly mother. Dependency. What is hidden will be revealed. Body. You know what? It's funny though. I'm looking at this and I'm like afraid of the attic. This is so potent. But everything you need too soon. Inside looking out. Your light. Alchemy. Under a spell. I don't think I want to let this go. I think it's pretty visceral. And maybe it doesn't need to pair with anything, because I think the thing about this is that this is for naming a particular type of experience, broken and hatched. Fire Mother. It's really great for working on, for me anyways, it's been very great for like past trauma kind of stuff. Really good for looking into the underneath layers of a situation and sort of unpacking it a bit. It's so like non-dominant hand. I don't know how else to describe that. It's like that's the art style, but then also the titles. The sheep who wandered and found a different shepherd. Rainbow Bridge. No one is yours but you. Twin. Mysterious mother. Service. The one who needs to control. Yeah, there's some really like shadowy, intense things in here, but it's also very like, it's very visceral. And it's really unique. And I remember going out of my way to find it because of that. And I don't think it's the kind of deck that like I can just whip out for for any reason. I think it needs to be brought out with purpose, kind of like the Reclaim Oracle, which I put in a different category. Not sure which one or why, but we'll know when I get there. I pre-categorized everything so that I could like stay sane, but the Iris Oracle is a really cool one. So yeah, that one's safe. Okay, another tarot. This is another one that like came into my life for a reason, but I'm not sure it's meant to stay. It's very, very potent, but it's difficult to really get to know. But man, look at that bag match though. Anyway, this is the Witch Sister Tarot. We did a whole deck study on it, and I feel like I went pretty deep into it and still did not quite figure it out. There's a lot of richness here. It's very Scottish, which makes sense because of course the artist is deep in Scottish lore and mythology herself, and I believe lives in Scotland. It feels connected to sort of deep ancestry. It feels super powerful, but there's something about it that feels out of reach. And it's, even though we did a whole deck study with it, it still feels out of reach. And like, we had so many opportunities to dive into symbols and to learn about, oh gosh, I just love that so much, the land. The art is just beautiful. Maybe this is one that if I went through and wrote keywords on, but I don't think, I feel like this one's not meant for me at this phase of my life, which is strange. I really enjoyed working with it and enjoyed studying with it, but it's remained out of reach for me in a way. And I just, oh, it's so potent though. Very empowering, very potent, very powerful deck, but it feels out of reach. I don't know how else to describe that. So I think this needs to go on the chopping block, but oh man, if I do ever rehome it, it's got to be rehomed with this bag, because just look at, it's like the perfect shade match. Anyway, sometimes there's decks and I'm just like, but why? I think I did have this paired with something, but yeah, chopping block. Oh boy. I'm just grabbing the thing it was paired with, because then I Just in case you were curious, it's paired with this Old Ways Magic Oracle, and I think this needs to be its own thing. This is the new version too, with all the extra cards. Oh, okay, anyway, sorry, that's not even part of this category, Lisa. Like, calm down. But I need to remember to hang this on my Oracle shelf because it's no longer paired with the other thing. So I'm moving it over here. Okay, last tarots are the most sassy, badass, empowering decks. Yes, also mine. Well, these are actually, this is like my wife in tarot form. And this is basically her dream deck, and we collaborated on it together. She is behind the sassy sayings on the cards, but if you haven't seen Sassy Dragons, I'll show you the clean version. I always show the not safe for work, but this is so adorable. It's adorable dragon artwork. It's very Rider-Waite Smith, but the meanings are right on the cards. There's no need for a guidebook. It's very beginner friendly. Anybody, whether you know tarot or not, can totally read with this because the meanings are like right there. So for example, 5 of Swords, sore winners are still losers. You've already lost if you have to compromise who you are to win. Or for the 3 of Pentacles, awesome squad assemble. Success lies in merging talents through teamwork. Or let's go, the Emperor, do as I say, not as I ... Just do as I say. Embrace your leadership qualities. Now is the time to take the lead. Choose your own adventure for the 2 of Wands. Beyond your comfort zone is a world of possibilities to explore. 10 of Wands, put some of it down before you drop it all. You're carrying a heavy load. Consider lightening it. 2 of Pentacles, you can master the teeter-totter. Prioritize your responsibilities so you don't drop the ball. But it's very empowerment themed, right? Off you go, time to make things happen. Take those steps towards your dreams. Don't turn back now. That's the 3 of Wands. So this whole deck is filled with sass and empowering vibes. So it absolutely sits in this category. I mean, it's going to be hard for everything I create to not be in this category because self-worth work is really important to me, and that, like, Peggy and I are very aligned in that way. So yeah, badass, or sorry, the not safe for work version has more swears. Like, you really are effing awesome. Celebrate your wins and enjoy the recognition. You've earned it. My favorite, buckle up, chuckle fuck. You can't save this tower, so let it fall and build a better one. Sure, you can move mountains, but is the hernia worth it? You're carrying a heavy load, consider lightening it, etc. It is so stinking cute and sweary, and I love it. Plus, it's my wife in a deck, so hard not to be empowered by that. I love her voice. And then we have 2 more oracles, so let's cover those. This is a really good one. And this one this is like a perma pair with the Tarot of Mystical Moments, actually, which was that first deck I showed at the beginning, the compelling, that ended up in this category. But this is the Love Who You Are by Angie Sullins with art by Silas Tobal. I don't typically keep guidebooks that are bigger than the cards in a bag with them because it does tend to warp the book a little. This one's holding up pretty well. But the poetry and writings in here are so beautiful and such a part of the experience that I had to keep it with it. It's got that same sort of digital collage, dreamy aesthetic, but the themes in this deck are very, very self-worth themed. And of course, like, it's literally called Love Who You Are. And this paired with the Tarot of Mystical Moments is an absolutely perfect pair. The art style goes really nicely together. They play off each other really nicely. They've got a similar kind of aesthetic, so they look great together, but they bring out the best in one another. So really, really love this deck. It's so beautiful. Don't quit your daydream is the unicorn card. It's great. Angie Sullins' decks all, I find, especially her early ones, I feel like the art is really great. The ones that are illustrated by Silas, but I believe Angie's worked with a number of other artists since then. But these earlier decks that had Angie and Silas together, for something about them, I really like the combo of the art and the messages, and I've had several of them, but this is the one that has stayed, and I didn't feel like I needed multiple. But this one works great. So that is the Love Who You Are Oracle, and I love it. And then our last empowering deck in this part of my collection is the Animal Apothecary deck by Cara Elizabeth. I typically pair this with the Tarot Curious Creatures, but this also has a lot of those same empowering vibes. But it pairs just perfectly with Tarot of Curious Creatures, so it tends to live with that one. But we have Face Your Fear and Breakthrough, magnetism through gratitude, inner conflict resolution, abundance. Almost there. I don't think this is a deck like I need in my collection, if that makes sense, but it makes a pretty fun pair next to Tarot of Curious Creatures. It's got some playfulness. It's unique. Love the cardstock. This is a Hay House, but this is like before the cardstock got weird on me. Lots of these little rainbowy things. It's fun. Claim your power. Inner truth. You are about to shine. Let go and bury. So feels empowering because it's got a little bit more of that affirmation sort of style to it. So I like that about it. It's technically calls itself an animal apothecary, but it doesn't feel like it's so over-focused on the animals, but it is at the same time. Like if you want to know what animal's being highlighted, you can just look at the guidebook and it'll tell you, like turkey or whatever. But it doesn't feel like an animal deck, which I know sounds really silly when that's literally what it's called. It feels like just like a fun, artsy deck. It's colorful, it's fun, it works. And it definitely does great with Tarot Curious Creatures. So it's perfect for that. All right, y'all, that was it. Those were all of my empowering decks. So I'm going to be rolling out a couple more of these collection videos this month. So we're going to be covering some esoteric decks. I think we're going to get to my fantasy decks this month. We'll see. We'll see how the month plays out. But I think we'll be getting to a couple more categories. So if you enjoy collection videos, stay tuned because we've got more coming. But these are a lot of fun. They also create a huge mess and they're a lot of work. So thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to me just play with my decks and riff on them and watching with me because I love hanging out with you all. So thank you so much. Extra big thank you goes out to my Unicorn Fam channel members for your support of the channel. Always big shout outs to you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you all so much for everything, for watching. Be sure to click the like button, subscribe. Subscribing does a few things. It makes sure that when you click your subscription feed from either your mobile app or from the desktop that you will actually see my videos in your feed. The YouTube homepage always changes based on what you've been recently watching. It will always shake things up, but I will sometimes show up there too if you're subscribed. But the subscription feed is what I enjoy on YouTube because it's one of the few places in social media you can go and actually see the people you intentionally follow. And I feel like so many social media apps these days, I'm about to rant, so many social media apps these days try to just feed you what they think you want to see. And thankfully on YouTube, we still have a place we can go and see the people we intentionally want to follow. So if you subscribe, you will be able to click your subscriptions feed and see me in there, my posts and my videos. And that's great because then you won't miss things. So definitely consider subscribing. And I think that's it. Oh yeah, keep an eye out for Unicorn's Journey Oracle Kickstarter, which is launching this month. So unless something goes horribly awry, it will launch sometime this month. So keep an eye out and I appreciate the support in advance. You can go click notify me on launch if you want to have a heads up on that when that happens. Unless when this video comes out, it's already happened. You never know. So thank you again so much for hanging out with me and for watching these videos. And until next time, may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye.